And a very good evening and welcome to Berani Bersama Conversations with me, Rashid Salleh. For those of you who've just the first time coming onto the show, Berani Bersama is a community effort by Malaysian personalities and creative individuals who will give us, you, the audience, a chance to interact with the community, and will help elevate and boost morale for our family and friends at home. Of course, this effort is for us to share our knowledge, skills, and abilities via social media, as well as, more importantly, to raise awareness and monetary contributions towards the MERCY Malaysia's COVID-19 pandemic fund. Of course, for more information, please log on to www.launchgood.com/Berani Bersama MY, or go to our page here and find out more information. Right, on tonight's or this evening's Berani Bersama conversation, we've got a couple of really, to me, the young performers who have done really well for themselves in their own sphere, and I'd like to bring them on without further ado. First, he performed last Sunday night. It was a musical journey of him, the performer, and he is someone who has the same surname as my wife. So let's welcome to the Berani Bersama Conversations, Tim Lim. Hi, I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know. That's interesting to know.
Yes, my wife is a Lim.
Okay, great.
So welcome to the show. I know you look like you just had a nap, but it's okay. So hopefully you'll be awake for this one. Our next guest is she is a comedian. She is on the autism spectrum. I have actually performed with her before last year on improv comedy, and she has just returned. I wouldn't say just returned. She was in London to try her luck, but we'll talk about that a bit more with her. Please welcome onto the Berani Bersama Conversations talk show, Juliana Heng. How are you, Juliana? Can you hear me? Let me see whether she can hear me. Can you hear me? Right, just checking whether she can hear me. You can hear me, Tim?
Yes.
All right. Can she hear me? Hello, speak. Okay, can you hear what I'm saying? All right, never mind. We'll carry on slightly. What I'm going to do is I'll just take her off for a while, and then we'll bring her back in. Okay. Okay. Coming up next, also, he is a multi-instrumentalist. That's what we've been told, and he has a motto: is passion and persistence will take you a long way. And please welcome onto the Berani Bersama Conversations as well, LK Wong. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Just finishing work, actually.
I know. It's like, very good of you to come in right on cue as well. We'll wait for we'll wait for Juliana to come back onto the thing. We'll probably ask the producer to get her to press the link again so she can come in. Wait, let me see. Can she come in? Let's see whether she can come. Hi, can you hear us now? No, wait. She needs to unmute your mic. Just unmute your mic. Just press once. We're almost there. Almost there. Just unmute your mic. There we go. Can you hear now? All right. Well, just I still can't hear you, but never mind. We'll carry on first. If not, we'll do the hand signals. Okay? But you can hear me. Say yes if you can hear me. I mean, put your thumbs up. You can hear me. All right. Okay. We'll work that one out. Okay. Let's go straight to the conversation first. We'll work it out as we go along. So, Tim, you just had your first performance. You were actually probably the first performer on the 1st of May on Berani Bersama. Well, congratulations.
Wow.
Tell us. Yeah, I know. Isn't that great? The inaugural show. So, congratulations to you. Now, tell us a bit about your background and how did you get into what you're doing right now, and why did you do it?
Well, I'm actually from Ipoh. I grew up in Ipoh. Then, long story short, I moved to KL for studies many years ago. I can't remember right now, but yeah, after I graduated, because I have this passion of doing music. I was involved in music since I was very young. So this passion of playing music, writing songs, been around since I was in secondary school. I took some time to also able to share this with a few friends. And long story short, there's this friend that I know who helped me to put together my albums close to 10 years ago. So that is where it started the journey. So my first album was released close to 2009. And that was like the kickstart of whatever I've been doing for the past few years. Writing songs, going around, do gigs. And the songs I write is always about the journey of my life over the years, capturing the emotions of going through life. And at the same time also, I hope some of these songs also able to bring some joy and some hope to people as well. You just inspire people. So that's the journey so far for me.
Right. So, what? I mean, for you, what inspires you, and what kind of influences? What kind of music did you enjoy?
Well, growing up, what encouraged me or inspired me to pick up the guitar was my dad. My dad is also like playing the guitar because a lot of us we play music instruments in the church environment. So that is where I started to pick up my guitar and also my singing. And at the same time, growing up in the 90s, then you are influenced by all sort of pop music, like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and all those stuff. Of course, there are a few awesome bands as well during that time. All these things that inspires me. Like, yeah, this is cool to do something like writing songs and sing songs, cool songs. So these are stuff that really shape who I am. And along the way as well, more exposure to different kind of music, and also experiment this and that. So yeah, basically that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, very brave of you. I mean, if you had said that, I'm a Backstreet Boys fan in the 90s, I think somebody would have just given you the side look and go, "Oh, now I'm worried." But now it's apparently quite safe to do that. So
Yeah.
so lucky for you because I was actually an NSYNC fan.
Okay.
I'll stop it there and let LK go. Yeah. Okay. Fine. No. Okay. Tell us a bit about this. You're a multi-instrumentalist. I mean, I'd like to know what that is. Firstly, explain to me what is a multi-instrumentalist.
Basically, it's somebody who plays like multiple instruments. I wouldn't say that, I mean, I just kind of like meddle around with different instruments a bit here and there, I mean, doesn't really mean that I could like play, the piano like Richard Clayderman or something like that. But you kind of like take instruments as like your different, like an artist who's painting, visuals and stuff. You've got like different colors.
Right.
To me, different instruments are like different colors that you can paint onto a white canvas. So the joy is actually in just experimenting with stuff. Just to get different sounds. And when you play on different instruments, it makes you write in different ways, I would say. Yeah.
So, I mean, do you actually? I mean, the performance you're going to have tonight. We'll talk about that. Is it going to be any vocals or just pure music?
Well, it's going to be purely music. At this point, I'm doing, a lot of like instrumental music, original instrumental music. I used to sort of like play in a band, which I had. I mean, I was like fronting a band like more than 10 years ago and stuff. But I figured this time around, just want to try and do something that's kind of like just go with the flow. I've always loved playing guitar and stuff like that. So like, try to do something different lah.
Right.
And instrumental music, I think, is not as widely seen here in Malaysia. So just trying my stab at it, I guess.
I see. It's like because it's like almost like I wouldn't say Kenny G, but but it very much people who just it's almost like I wouldn't say jazz or Larry Carlton kind of thing. Just
that's right.
music. Yeah, that kind of, because I love instrumentals. I mean, I love classical music anyway, so I do enjoy just music without vocals. So sorry, Tim, not to say I don't like Backstreet Boys or anything. It's just I do love my music. Now, talking about music to my ears, so we've got Juliana down there at the bottom. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Yeah, okay. We almost got there. Yes, sort of can hear you. You know what? If you take off your headphones, will you be able to talk to us? Would it be clearer if you talk to us without the headphones? You take off the headphones of the camera or the phone. Or let me check your audio. Hello? Can you say something? I'll just quickly say something to her. Hi. Is it better that way? Can you speak, Juliana? Let me ask her whether she can speak or not. Can you speak? Say something. We'll let her fiddle with it. Once you can speak, just open your mouth and say something, okay? No, still can't hear her. You can hear us, but we can't hear her. Okay, never mind. So Tim, any inspirations in terms of your music-wise? Who do you who do you really look up to when it comes to like creating music, or is it just is it church time, or is it just other stuff as well?
There's this band Switchfoot, John Foreman.
Right.
I think what he's been doing for the past few years really inspired me, even in terms of the kind of music that I want to do. Like even right now, he's still doing it, and even some of his songs also, it's all about bringing hope. So it's something that really inspire what I'm doing. So he's one of those really massive influence on the way I write songs, and also the music I listen, and kind of music that I want to play or write. So Switchfoot is among them. I think songs like from Lifehouse and all these bands.
Lifehouse, wow.
Yeah.
Now it's like showing your age.
Yeah. So those kind of bands have been quite an inspiration to me as well. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, let me see whether before we get.
Hello.
Hi. Yes. Hi.
Can you all hear
Brilliant.
me?
Very much so
Yes,
now.
awesome.
Okay, that's literally music to my ears. Very much. Okay, Juliana. Now, for those of you who don't know who Juliana is, she's a budding comedian. She's been around, to me anyway. You've been around at least a year or two to me, because I remember performing you in improv comedy very early last year. I just came back to do comedy again, and I was asked by Harith Skandar to come back and do improv. And she was one of the players who played with me, and it was really fun because I got to get to know all these to me much younger comedians who are out there in the field. And you recently went to London to go to try your luck with a show. How was that experience? I know because you wrote a lot about it. How was that experience on a personal level?
I would say that it is a very good experience because firstly, I will say frankly speaking, I've never traveled so far in my life before. So the furthest I've ever fly to is actually South Korea, and that was like 8 years ago. So it is like I've never like traveled so far apart from like Singapore, that's about it. So UK is a very, very different place. So that comes with a lot of culture shock and a lot of things, like something that I've never experienced before. And to top it off is the winter weather. It's like I think that is one of the scariest things because I was taught about winter in the textbooks that it's all like you will be able to build a snowman. It's very nice. There's a lot of snowflake. But London's winter is never like that. London's winter is just a lot of rain and wind. And it's so cold because of the wind actually. And it's painful to the point that like there are times I'm scared to get out of the house. Those kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's very good because I get to see the comedy scene over there. It's very different it's big lah. It's a major comedy scene compared to Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is a growing scene, so it is like you only have 2 comedy club in KL, but over there it's like every night at least 2 or 3 comedy shows running concurrently. At least that's a minimum. There are more. Yeah.
And then you realize how big the world is, isn't it? And then how small we are in terms of the aspect of our own entertainment world. But I mean,
Yeah.
the experience of going to Britain's Got Talent, how was that? How did you when going there, going for audition, what were your feelings? Because not many people were brave enough to even write and then go. You went the whole way. I mean, that's something already. I can congratulate you for that.
Thanks. For me, my feeling is I mean, it is nervous, always nervous, because for me, I'm like, I've never performed to a place where everyone over there is like white people, that kind of thing. It is like, of course, it is rather unnerving. And another thing is, I'm also afraid that my joke will not resonate well with them, because if let's say we have Malaysian references, like for example the Proton car, how do I tell British people what a Proton car is? So there is a challenge about telling certain things, because for me my set is actually has a Proton car reference, so I need to be able to convey that. So it is a bit tricky. It's a bit of a research to find out how do I convey it to that. Yeah.
Right.
But it is quite cool, because the thing is, when I went for the audition, it wasn't with a producer or anything. It's just a staff, and she's the one reacting to my joke. And I'm glad, because she laughed at it. It's like, I remembered I went for Asian Got Talent about 2 years ago. I went in, I actually tell my jokes. The 2 person, they just smile. They don't even laugh. Then I know that I'm screwed lah. Because I think it's not like singing. It's not like singing or dancing. They can be impressed. They're like, they will be impressed until the next person come in. But for comedy, if you don't get a laughter, it means you stuck lah. Better go home lah. Don't see anyone again lah. Yeah.
Yes, because with comedy, that interaction is really, really important. Whereas they say musicians, you can shock sendiri and you don't care about anything else. Is that correct? Like, okay, my music is really good. I don't want to listen to anyone. Never mind. Now, talking about performances and shock sendiri, Tim, you performed your set on the 1st of May. How did you feel about that? Because you're contributing to the cause, to the Berani Bersama community. How did you feel that this contribution, and what kind of music do you choose for this show?
Well,
okay,
first
so
off,
sorry, we'll go for Tim first.
Sorry.
first off, I was surprised that I was like the first performance that they want to show. Of course, I think apart from that, there were a few things that happened. I think some DJ sets and stuff. But in terms of performance, I was quite surprised. And at the same time, I was excited, then a bit of like nervous whether this would be good or not. And turns out that everything went quite smoothly and quite good. I'm totally really humbled by a lot of the feedback that I get from my friends who watch it, say that was really a good set. The songs that I chose has to do with what we are going through right now, like a lot of uncertainties, a lot of questions. So some of those songs that I chose has that message of hope and praying that everything will be good even after MCO and when life goes on. So those are the theme that I chose for the songs that I presented during that set. So I'm glad that everyone enjoyed it. And apparently that during my slot, there were some donation that came in. So hopefully that helps. So
more than nothing is already a massive help. So congratulations, because every little bit that we contribute to the MERCY Malaysia's COVID-19 pandemic fund is already a big plus, irrespective whether it's RM1, 50 cents, is the act of giving to our, not just our frontliners, but everyone else who actually needs it is already a big plus. So congratulations, because you helped the ball rolling, so to speak, in that sense.
Thanks.
So thank you. Now, LK, your motto, passion and persistence, will take you a long way. how did that come about, and what that has to do with what you'll be performing on tonight at 9 p.m.?
Well, basically, that's kind of a bit of my personal motto. Been doing this music thing for I think close to about 20 years and stuff. So I think you have to be really, really passionate about whatever you do for you to be able to, like go on doing it. Similarly, I think even with a job or something, if you kind of like dread it after a while or something, it's quite difficult for you to like carry on for the long term. So similarly, I mean, for me, it's like music has been an ongoing sort of like interest and passion to me all this while, and sometimes it can get very frustrating, and also there are days where you feel like you're not really getting anywhere and stuff. But at the end of the day, is that if I stop doing it, I probably feel that there's something very much missing in my life, so still continue on doing it, whether you get anywhere or not, for the love of it. So I think, especially things to do with the arts, I would say you have to have this characteristic in you to persevere on, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a never give up
And
kind of attitude.
yeah, hopefully one day you get there lah,
It seems to be, yeah, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, it's maybe the satisfaction you get when you're like, you complete a piece of art of yours, like when you get to record and release your music, and sometimes people like it and stuff. It's the small things that kind of matter, and yeah, is the satisfaction you get from it lah.
Okay, thank you. Juliana, I mean, you talk about being on the autism spectrum and then also being a comedian. How do you deal with those two, because they're almost very different fields. Can you hear what I'm saying? Okay. Hello?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay.
I hear it, but it's all breaking up, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what is it. Yeah, what's the question?
So the question is, how do you deal being on the autism spectrum as well as a comedian? And it's lagging.
Got first part of the question. How do you deal with autism? That's the second part of the question.
Yes. How and as well as being a comedian.
Okay. How do you deal with autism and being a comedian?
Yes.
Okay. I think I get the question now. All right. So the interaction that is happening is actually very similar to how you are interacting with one on the spectrum, because there will be times I have to ask question a second to clarify. So when it comes to responses, I mean, especially in a comedy show, I have to admit that I don't really have an age when it comes to interacting with audiences. Like you see some comedians in the show start picking an audience and just talk to them, very spontaneous, and then they can just come up with something on the fly. That is something that's not my age. That's not something that I'm good at, because for me, sometimes when someone even heckle me, but oftentimes maybe that heckle actually flew past me. So I wouldn't even pick that up, and I will still continue with what I am doing with my material. The good thing is I am very focused. That means whatever happening in the room, there's someone chattering, or even if there's background noise or anything, I'm just not bothered. I'm just like, okay, I have this bunch of materials. Let me just do it. Yeah, compared to when you can pick up of the things. For me, I don't pick up. I'm not very sensitive with what is happening in the surrounding. But the cons is you miss a lot of golden opportunity. Sometimes some golden nugget landed in my way, but I just don't see it. Yeah.
Okay, but in some ways, it gets people to just listen to you, and you don't have to like worry about everyone else. So that's a good thing also. See, and you know what? The worst thing, the thing that kills a comedian. You know what kills a comedian is when we're doing online shows like this, and then the audience gets the reply later. This is what BB Capo happened to BB Capo. BB, she did a show, and then she had a punchline, and then 5 seconds later, then there was a laughter. So yeah, that was pretty scary. Now, Tim, moving forward,
Yeah,
what?
true.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Tim, moving forward,
Yes.
what are your plans?
Continue to write more songs. Initially, I have thoughts to release an EP for this year and probably in the next few years as well. With everything that's happening, so I'm trying to evaluate the whole situation right now. But nevertheless, I think coming up with a new EP is one of the ways for me to move forward. Over the years, I've been releasing and recording singles. So it's to get them together and release it for everyone right now.
Right, and what kind of EP are you looking at, and what kind of music are you looking at as well?
Um, well, the kind of music that I've been writing. So last year, I have released two singles. So they are much more acoustic and simple and quite organic kind of arrangement, singer-songwriter kind of stuff. So this is the direction that I'm going about. You know, a bit like what some of those singer-songwriters are doing these days, like Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. So yeah, that's something I'm going about for the next few years in terms of the EP. So that's the idea. Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna just gonna keep on going, and then hopefully that will, at least would you ever think about changing sort of a genre of music?
No, at some point I was quite interested in doing. I know not many Malaysians would be keen, but I was thinking about country music. But then it's something that I would like to explore and consider as well. I think in terms of the style of singing, style of the music, because some of those songs over the years have, appeal to me because it's
Right.
really interesting in terms of the arrangement and the music.
Mm.
So I thought maybe something there's one area I can explore.
Right. Now we seem to have lost Juliana for a while, but that's okay. Okay, so tonight, I know I've asked you just now, but the type of arrangement, how did you go about thinking about it? Arranging this type of music for tonight's show.
Just figured that the stuff that I do was a bit more like chill, for the nighttime. So hopefully, our audience will be kind of like we'll set them in a good mood and stuff. And when they're having good vibes, hopefully they'll also donate kindly, I suppose. Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I mean, on a personal level, I mean, we of course there's these next few days we are asking people to donate and all that, and it is for a good cause. But on a personal level, musically, moving forward, how are you going to explore different types of stuff as well, or are you just going to play whatever you're playing tonight? Because as an instrumentalist, actually, how many types of instruments do you play?
I mainly guitar, keyboards, a bit of drums. Mainly those are the main instruments. I mean, there are the odd few, like trying to play some trumpet and stuff like that, but that didn't really work out, I suppose.
Trumpet.
Yeah, not. I mean, it's quite a difficult instrument to pick up, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, asking me about the direction maybe of the music I'm going. I'm kind of like just feeling it. I mean, like going with the flow. Of course, there is a certain theme through my sound at this moment, which is very much rooted in the 80s kind of like synth pop or kind of styles. I mean, like sounds, because I kind of like really into that 80s kind of growing up in the 80s. So I think it became like ingrained in my DNA since young.
Right.
So now I'm kind of like getting to do in a way like rekindle my childhood through those sounds and vintage equipment, and just bringing it to the modern day, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Tim, what about you?
Yes.
Just the guitar, nothing else? You've tried trying piano, organ. What am I saying? I'm that old.
Basically, yeah, I can play like basically like a basic band kind of instrument. So like, I've picked up drums and bass and electric guitar. My only regret is that I didn't really uh pick up piano really well. So
Right.
so I think that's one thing also I want to work on as well, because yeah, basically I can play a full band except for piano.
Yeah. I
So
mean that getting the melody from the piano is very helpful, especially when
yeah,
you're trying to create new songs. Correct.
yes, yeah,
That's really helpful.
yep.
Yeah. But I've got this Backstreet Boys thing in my head ever since you mentioned it. It's scary because do you ever think about the two of you ever thought about joining up in a boy band or a band, or have you ever experimented that before? LK, do you want to start first? The man with the long hair.
I don't even think that I can cut it. That's the thing. I mean, these kind of groups are all kind of, in a way, through record label management. They put them together based on a full package. Like
Right.
maybe some singing ability, their physique,
Mm,
and half good looking, and stuff, so that
right.
it's easier to be marketed to the masses. And honestly, I mean, not to be dissing or anything. Those guys all put in a lot of hard work as well.
Yes.
So they do. I mean, when they get big and successful, I mean, they really, really do. They did really work hard for it, lah. So work has been put in, lah, I would say.
So Tim, you are the boy band listener. So, and no, what are your thoughts? Have you ever even tried playing in a band before? I mean, let's not talk about the church choir or anything. This has to be like band, 4 people, whatever, 5 people, that kind of thing.
I mean, I mean like boy band kind of thing. I mean, when I was young, I always like imagine like it would be cool, doing something like this. But of course, growing up, then you realize the reality, like what just now, like what LK mentioned just now.
Mm,
But growing up as well, while I'm picking out instruments, yeah, able to pick out all those instruments, play along with friends,
mm,
especially like in the church environment. So that also helps a lot for me to progress with my music, and also help to understand how to work together. So I think over the years, that if you are going on that music band side, that is really, for me, I think it's a really fun area to explore. In fact,
mm.
there are a few gigs I've done. Also, I've done full band, and that is always fun to do that. So
Right,
yeah.
right, right. Well, you know what? It's unfortunate we can't get through to Juliana. What we'll probably try and do, though, for you guys, for those of you who really want to watch Juliana, maybe I will ask the producer. We'll bring her on with Papi Zach if she's available at about 8 o'clock, because I know she's doing a set at about 8:30. But we'll see what we can do, and if we can do both at the same time, because I know a lot of people will probably want to hear from her as well. But on behalf of Berani Bersama Conversations, guys, thank you very much, Tim. I know. Thank you for your performance, for coming out here, speaking to us as well, and letting people know, what about more about you. LK, I know you probably don't want to cut your hair after the MCO because you want to probably keep it long anyway. I know Tim is probably desperate to have a haircut, because your hair is almost like mine, where it's like, it gets very unruly at this time. And you look like, I know you've just woken up, but you've probably been trying to slick it down. So,
Yes.
yeah, I know. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but on behalf of all of us at Berani Bersama, also MERCY Malaysia, thank you very much, and look forward to your thing at 9 p.m. tonight, LK. BBK Post says Westlife, so she's a big fan of Westlife.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Westlife too.
Oh man, no one fans with NSYNC. Come on, man. Come on, somebody's got to be an NSYNC fan, but we'll figure one day. All right, okay. So on behalf of us, once again, thank you very much. I'll get her out of the studio, but here's the other two. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, LK.
Yes.
For those of you who, of course, you'd like to contribute and donate, please donate and log on to www.launchgood.com/Berani Bersama MY. We're going to have Papi Zak and hopefully Juliana Heng at 9 p.m. tonight. But from all of us here at Berani Bersama Conversations, it's a thank you and have a good evening. For those Muslim brothers and sisters, selamat berbuka puasa. Thank you and good night. Bye-bye.